Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things. Tonight is a very special episode. Not only am I giving a special giveaway, because I have actually reached my 3,000 watch hours.
Absolutely.
So, woohoo! I have some other exciting news. I finally got past stage 2 in the monetization.
Yeah, she's getting there.
I'm so excited. So now it's in stage 3. They're reviewing me, and then we'll go from there. And I think I'm actually going to do a video explain exactly what you need to go through.
Yeah.
So when y'all get there, you know, do this, do this. If you get stuck here, do this. And then how to get past what I went through, because y'all know the saga. It just would not let me move forward with the AdSense thing. I found the workaround. And I got to work and discovered it this afternoon. Because it's like, oh, let me see if I'm still in progress or they denied me again.
Yeah.
And when I refreshed, it said done. I'm like, wait, I'm actually past stage 2? Yes.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm so excited. Let me introduce my co-host for tonight. You know him as that guy at the end of the bar. The love of my life. Troy Pacelli, how you doing tonight, sweetie? And what are you sipping on?
Salute. I have high octane here tonight. I got some Rockstar energy drink. Drinking it from a martini glass because I think it looks cool.
Well, yeah, it does. Yeah, so my drink tonight is just a, let's see, let me get back to the right spot. Waterloo sparkling water mixed berry. So
there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
Not a sponsored stream.
No, but you know I like my flavored waters.
Yes.
And I usually end up with a berry flavor.
Absolutely.
Because now, one of the things I'm looking forward to when I become monetized is getting some decent lighting, because I look like a ghost right now. And even though I've got the lighting on the palest of the, it's kind of like an orangey yellow colors to try, that's supposed to not be so harsh, I still look washed out. So one of the things I'm looking forward to is getting some decent lighting, because no, I mean, Troy looks good. I look like a ghost, but you know, before I cannot talk tonight. Before we bring in our special guest, and in guest plural.
Guest plural, yes.
Let me say hello to the chat, but first I gotta put one of my contact lenses is not letting me see very well. So I'm moving my head so I can try and see better. And of course it's the one where I do close up, so it's making me nuts.
Do you want me to start bringing in the saying hi to everybody?
You can.
Starting with JPRPH1, who was here at 3:07, like literally as soon as the stream went up. Welcome, my friend.
Yes.
Big Al Presents says, hello, my friends. Have a great stream. Hoping everyone is having a lovely evening. Thank you so much, Big Al. And, of course, hail to the bird woman of YouTube, Connie
Yes.
Cleary. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
And she has a second channel, Fluff Chick Productions.
Yep. And then there's that last call guy, that drunk. And then, of course, FKHC 2005, whom some know as Tim. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And then JPRPH1 came back. Started saying hi to everybody.
Can't stay away.
Lady Myst saying hi and encouraging us with her emojis.
Yes,
she is the emoji queen. And Tired Blogger Raid, thanks for coming by,
Yep.
Curtis, and bringing your viewers with you. Super appreciate it. This is going to be a great one. And Mark Melnikoff, welcome, my friend. You're going to love this topic tonight because we're talking about a new sci-fi, a good sci-fi,
Yes.
called Island in the Stars. You've heard about this. I've been talking about it enough.
Yeah,
Deleted Scenes has been talking about it on his channel as well. Welcome, my friend. And John, hello again. Good to see you. And let's see here. Space Fraggle.
Troy!
Good to
The
see
other
you, Troy. I like your name. You have a great name, my friend. Your
It
parents
means
named
foot
you
soldier.
well. It does. It means foot soldier in Gaelic. Absolutely. And Knights of Rill. He says, hello, Tom. This is Bill. We'll get Tom in here in just a second. I just want to finish going through everybody and saying hi real quick, including Nate. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hurrah. Netter is monetized. Well, she's not actually monetized yet, but she's gotten past the major hurdles.
Yeah.
So we will see that dollar sign coming up at the chat spot very soon.
Oh.
And we're done. We're caught up.
Hold on. I just lost my computer. So keep going.
Okay.
Chat.
Great to be. Okay, yeah, great to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it helps if I actually plug in my laptop when I come downstairs.
Oh,
and,
did it die on you?
yeah, so it's
That
going to take me a
happens.
minute to come back up. So give me a minute.
That means you also lost your light too.
Yep, I lost my light.
Last call with Troy Petrelli. When I saw Island in the Stars, my mind went to Eyes in the Stars, One Moon Circles. Gosh, that sounds familiar. What is that a quote from? I'm forgetting. Monetize. Money ties. Yes, exactly. Exactly right. And you just dropped out completely.
Yep, I'll be back in a minute. I told you.
Sorry, Tom and Lucinda. We'll bring you in just a second. I don't want to bring you in without the host. He's giving me the thumbs up saying it's okay.
I like that. My screen said something went wrong. Yeah.
No kidding. So glad you're here to tell us these things, Professor.
Okay.
And
Add to stage. There we go. Hi, I'm back.
And let me mute you. There you go.
Yes, please
Because
mute
you're
me.
echoing. There we go.
Yeah, because we share the same mic right now.
There we go. Shall we not keep them waiting any longer?
Yes.
Okay.
So tonight, like I said, we have two very special guests. So guests plural. So let me bring in Tom Konkle and Lucinda Bruce. And they are...
Like old friends.
They are.
Yes, we
And
are.
Lucinda, you're in Australia, right?
I am, yes, at the moment, yeah.
What time is it there now?
It is 1:10 p.m. on Friday.
Wow.
She's in the
Good
future.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
For Troy,
Absolutely.
that would be a drinking day.
That's right. That is right.
I see the sunshine coming through your window, and I'm like, it's night. What?
Yeah.
Hold on, my laptop decided to do the second round of shutting me off.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get started then
Yes.
without you because
Yeah.
they only have so much time.
Exactly.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. The original plan was have you guys back when Netter got monetized because we wanted to do a little giveaway of Trouble Is My Business, signed by the writer and director and star. That's just one signature, by the way, guys, because that's one person.
Yeah, I should have been a doctor with that signature. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Exactly right. But that carries a lot of weight. We've been so excited to do that. But you've heard the update. She's not really technically monetized yet, but she's checked all the boxes. We just got to jump through all the hoops that YouTube.
Yeah.
puts
Well,
us
tell me a little bit about that. Congratulations on it. First off, so she's been trying to get the threshold that get past a certain
Yeah.
threshold.
So minimum monetization, which means she can get memberships, super chat, super thanks, and stuff like
There we go.
that.
That's terrific.
Is 3,000 watch
Yes.
hours and 1,000 subscribers. She blew out the 1,000 subscribers a while ago. She just recently got past the 3,000 watch hours with a lot of help from a lot of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you guys have helped us too, Troy. The
Absolutely.
memberships are invaluable. The membership from you and Netter literally allowed me to buy the render time. I did a test of the Scrooge thing that I have. I did an
Yes.
animation test on it, and I had to buy render time. You know, I have to buy credits and stuff to render out the video with the lip movement and everything. And
Right,
literally,
right.
Your membership was the way I was able to do that. and pay it.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad.
Super important. You don't realize it's like these artists, you know, they put up their thing like give me money or whatever, but it's like there's a practical reason for it. I
Absolutely.
want to produce more content, and you supporting me and us supporting Netter allows
Yeah,
you to have the time and the money to do that stuff because it's not in a vacuum. You know,
absolutely.
you've got to have some resources. So you guys being members of my channel has made a real difference in my ability to experiment and try stuff where before I'd be like, do I want to drop a dime on this? But now it's like, well, no, I have members. I can put up a test, and I put up a test on the. I don't know if you've seen it, but
Right.
it's on the site where it's the
Yep.
first couple of minutes of it with that animation
I'm going
test.
to
I
restart
wouldn't
my
have been able to
StreamYard.
do it without you and Netter.
Absolutely. And I was going to say too that
There I am.
yes. So it really does all come around because that also means, you know, as literally since we last talked, you know, I've gotten my monetization, gotten a lot of members.
Congrats.
You know, it really has helped. Netters is on the way, but that probably means we could probably invest even more into Island in the Stars. So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about Island in the Stars.
Absolutely. Lucinda, do you want to kind of start? We'll give them a picture of where we are making the offers and some of the things that have happened for us.
Real quick, though, I know that most of our audience already knows about it, but let's do a quick, 1,000-foot overview for those that
Okay.
might not know about Island in the Stars.
Do you want me to do that
Tom,
part?
no, Tom can do that.
So, Lucinda and I are producing a Hollywood-style genre film without Hollywood. And
Amen.
it's a back to the time where everything wasn't deconstructed and everything wasn't grim and dark. This is the kind of movie that 14-year-old me would have loved, and I think other people will agree with me. It's a swashbuckling adventure about a woman who it's a slow drip, but she's bleeding. She's rejected the call to adventure, and she gets a mysterious visitor who has a treasure that might point to where her missing father is. And she needs to make a decision to go out into the stars, to this island in the stars, literally, which is what planets are in this place. And she has an incredible adventure along the way. And it's an Australian-based film, which means the voice and the talent pool of Australians are going to be in a science fiction film, a space opera, which is very rare, actually, in Australian cinema, but we're celebrating it because our other partner, Vernon Wells, is a legend down there, and he's playing one of the main characters, and he's able to...
I like to think he's a legend here, too.
Yeah, well, he is a legend here, but come on,
I know.
Yeah. So we have had some new developments, which Lucinda and I can share with you, not the least of which is we did get the script through our lawyer to George Miller, who was the director producer of everything from Mad Max to Happy Feet, and he's reading it, and with an eye to being one of the executive producers, which will really open doors to talent and facility there. With someone like George Miller on boots on the ground, would really open up the possibilities for distribution and finance for us. There's some other things that are cooking. I throw it over to Lucinda, and we can just bounce back and forth about some of the stuff that's been happening.
Absolutely.
So much. I mean, we're just talking to a bunch of different people and investors, and we're looking at the next stage of our financing, so that we're looking for bigger chunks of kind of support now. With we're still looking for Indiegogo supporters and things like that, but to make valuable offers to cast members and through our lawyer and things like that. Obviously, that there's financing that's needed for those sorts of things. So we're reaching out to a variety of different people at the moment to see if we can get them on board with some working capital for the project to continue approaching some of these bigger names and get them involved and on board the project. So we're focusing a lot on that at the moment and trying to keep pushing things forward. Obviously, we want to keep the momentum going and keep the money coming in. It just helps with so many little things. A little bit goes a long way, but obviously it'd be great to get some investors on board who are looking to take back-end percentages as well.
And the Indiegogo link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out. It's still ongoing.
That's great perks. Yeah, the thing I love about crowdfunding and Indiegogo is not only does it give you that bird's eye view of like what we're doing and it's inclusive, but it also kind of shows someone that there's interest before you make the film. You know, it's someone
Yeah.
buying a ticket saying, you know what, I'd go check this out, so that you can turn around to someone and go, yeah, there's interest. There's people that want to see this thing. It's getting in now, being enrolled in it now while we're making it, which a lot of films are just sort of like end user, how do we sell this thing? It's already done. And they
Yeah.
just kind of foist it on the audience. It's like, you better like it or you're wrong, you know. But we're trying to make a film that's inclusive of the people during the process. So this has been an opportunity for people to just buy the ticket when we need it, but also kind of pick how involved they want to be in it. And you guys have been very involved in that. And to me, it's much more exciting to have that dialogue, because I'm making the film hopefully so that people will enjoy it and agree with me as far as, yeah, this is what we wanted to have. At the end of the day, though, this film is for the audience. It's not for us, you know, and so this is a great way to get feedback and get people involved. So the Indiegogo, we made our goal. So anything else that we make goes towards our stretch goal. Entertainment lawyers are very expensive. They're
Yes.
very expensive.
The perks,
Yeah.
you don't have to get just one.
Yeah.
Troy and I
You
got
can get
3 or
multiples.
4 of them
Absolutely.
because we just couldn't make up our mind. So it's like, we got this one because it had this thing in it. Then we got this thing because it had this thing in it. We got all these different perks that we got. So you don't have to get just one.
And I think there's one perk that you won't see specified on the Indiegogo that I don't think any of us have talked about enough, and that's the fact that by investing in this film, that's basically what you're doing. You are sending a message. This is your vote, right? This is your democratic word to the industry to say, look, we're going to support independent films. We started out with, you said it's a Hollywood level production film without Hollywood,
Yeah.
and this is your opportunity to put your money where your mouth is, because on all of the channels, you know, that I frequent, that I hang out with, that you guys all listen to, and you hear me saying it all the time, you know, we have a professional, you know, entertainment industry who is failing over and over and over again. And what do? They say it's all your fault because you're not coming out to these movies. You horrible fans, right?
Yeah, how dare you not see Joker 2? Yeah.
And everything that Tom has said since he came in here is it's all about the fans. It's what the fans would want. It's what I wanted as a 14-year-old boy. I'd say it's probably what I wanted as a 40-year-old man too.
Yeah.
You know? And this is your opportunity to say, yes, give me more of that, please. You know?
Yep.
Yes,
It's a
maybe you
positive
spend...
thing. We all complain about what's out there, like that Borderlands movie that came and went, and Joker. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Lucinda and I have talked about this for hours. We watch them spend hundreds of millions of dollars on movies that I don't even think they believe in. You know, like you look at the casting, or you look at the core concept, or I hear more and more about the filmmaker going, oh, they didn't even want to really make it. Like, that was giving the finger to Warner Brothers. Or this
Yes!
Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Make $101 million movies. And if any one of them wasn't crap, it would make money. It's crazy.
Or a star who is offended by a piece of fan art that was really intended to, you know, bolster excitement. It's like, well, you know what? You know who isn't going to get upset if you're doing, you know, fan art and getting the word out about the project? These guys here, you know?
Yeah.
So
we're
just say
humble about it. I have been making money for other people my whole life in LA, and I've watched it get squandered. I've watched it go, and I just scratch my head. Or, you know, if something's a success, they do something almost as good for triple the cost after it, or they'll reboot it, remake it. I've crafted these scripts and walked into these meetings with people with fuzzy sweaters on, and they go, "Okay, feed me like I'm 4. I want complex, but feed me like I'm 4. I don't like your idea, but we have the Little Rascals. Can you do anything with that?" And it's like, I'm tired of doing that. So this really is an opportunity for us to have an easy writer moment. And what I mean by that is we've gone from a gatekeeper economy to a creator economy. And that easy writer moment is going to be filmmakers like Lucinda and I simply saying, we're going to make the film that we believe in. right or wrong, we're going to do the best job we possibly can, but it's something we want to see, and we feel like there's enough people, not everyone has to agree with it, but enough people will agree that, hey, you know what, I'd love like a swashbuckling Errol Flynn style action adventure steampunk pirate movie. Let's make one, versus a white paper coming from a company somewhere going, the kids said they like the thing, we should do that again. And I think that's a simple business plan, but it's funny that simplicity of it is what's so baffling. Is that you look at it and you go, if we made Island, and realistically, because of the exchange rate with Australia, 25 million here is 37 million there. So that's what's a mid-range to low-budget movie. We could make a terrific movie for that, and if it only made $50 million, we're in profit. We only spent 25. We've doubled our money. The business plan of, if this doesn't make $1 billion, we're going under, cannot sustain. And when you look at, we've talked about this too on Netter's show, is streaming companies, a loss leader of $100 million. So, let's do Red Notice, or let's do some movie, put The Rock in it, do all this stuff. It's like no ticket was sold, no thing was purchased. So they just throw it out there and hope that maybe they'll get more subscribers. But the people that manufacture the movie get nothing. It's a flat rate. If you had made Jaws that way, it wouldn't have been a blockbuster in 1975 because no one would have bought a ticket. It'd be like, okay, Jaws is up. Okay, what's next? It's like there's no opportunity for excellence or a meritocracy anymore with streaming, because my thumbnail is next to another thumbnail and there is no precept of quality or cost. It's all the same. You all get paid your licensing fee. There's no ticket sold, and there's nothing special about it. And that's why we forget, like that Chris Pratt science fiction movie that was out. It was like a $150 million film. No one's talking about it. There's no poster. There's no soundtrack. There's no merchandise. You know why? Because it's eminently disposable. And I'm very tired of that mentality. As somebody who loves to make these things, feeling disposable or feeling like there is no dialogue between the audience and the artist anymore, that it's content, is a terrible feeling.
But if you think about all the films of the past 5, 10, let's face it, 100 years, right? Yeah. That have been successful. Was it because of their marketing campaign? Or was it because of grassroots? Somebody went and saw this film, said, my gosh, this was good, takes his wife to see it, takes his family to see it, gets his co-workers to go see it, tells everybody about it. And I'm talking about before the internet. See, I'm old enough to remember the time before the internet.
See, I think that what they're doing now with films, it seems like they don't want them to be successul. It's like they're creating them just to fail. It's like, what, you just want to write them off or something?
I'll tell you.
What's the point?
Well,
we dare you to go to this movie.
My speculation, not being in the industry, you can correct me. You guys know what it's like in there. But my impression is that there's a bunch of people that are making these films that are not invested. That they make their money, and whether the movie does well or not, they don't care. So they don't care, and it shows in the product that they're putting out.
That is true.
Am I wrong?
Well, that is true to a certain extent, because on a producing level now, so much of it is a company being attached. They get theirs, they have their percentage and they have their fee, which is not tethered to the success of the movie. The profit participation is separate from the salary.
Yeah.
And the salaries are hefty. Like, I could live on the salary of one of their films for the rest of my life. I think that the bottom line of it is, somewhere along the way, when tech companies took over and when corporations finally took over, the idea that this was a passion project is so rare that we respond to it because you can tell when someone really wanted to make it. I think I would attribute the success of someone like even Chris Nolan, because at least the man has the courage of his conviction. This guy wanted to make that movie. He's focused on that movie. He makes a movie. It's like, hey, I'm going to make a 3-hour biopic about the guy who made the atomic bomb. It's going to be good. It's like you pitch that to, the AT&T/IBM corporation. They'd be like, well, we looked into science. It's not playing real well in the white paper, So everything you always loved growing up was the first thing at some point. And it also was an indie thing. Let's be intellectually honest. Star Wars was an indie movie that cost like $17 million tops back in 1970.
Nate was just starting to say basically that, it had a little marketing to begin with, and it was all word of mouth, and that's where it took off. And why do people love it so much? Yeah, it was a great story and well done and all that. Take nothing away from it, but it was George's passion that came through.
To see that movie, he grew up loving those sort of serials, and he had wanted to do Flash Gordon, but they wouldn't let him have it. So he said, screw it, I'm going to come up with my own original thing, which is exactly what I did with Eileen and the Stars. I said, screw it, I'm going to come up with my own space opera. I can't keep waiting for someone to give me a movie to make, or to allow me, give me permission, to make something. And said, well, what would I want to see? And then it started being this little pot that you put everything. Oh, I really want to do that. Oh, I really want to see that. Oh, I wish I'd see. I feel like I've seen that, but no, I haven't. So I'm going to put that in there. And that's how the script was written. It's one of these things where if you want to make something, you will find a way. If what you're making is something that you're passionate about and you can communicate that passion to other people. Like when I met Lucinda, she understood that passion and she used her skill set to go, I want to make that happen. I want to figure out how to move heaven and earth to make it happen. And then when I met you, you're like, okay, you get it. You understand it. If I have to convince somebody or do that, maybe that's not their film. Maybe that's not their thing. And you need to be okay with it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if enough people go, yeah, I get it, let's give it a shot. If you make it for a reasonable amount of money, you'll get to make another thing. And that's what happened with Trouble Is My Business. Trouble Is My Business.
You have this passion behind what you're doing, and it's infectious. It's like anyone talking to you, and you're mentioning this film, you can just see that passion. You look so like alive and excited to do this. It's not like some of these executives going, yeah, we're going to do this movie. It's about this. Blah, 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 blah. Right. You're excited.
Exactly.
You're passionate.
The art department. Yeah. You know what? I do it for free, so I'm not. I in fact, that's why I have an agent. My agent's like, don't do it for free, please. So I do love it, and I do feel like it's an important thing. Regardless of what I accomplish, you can never say that I didn't really believe it, I didn't really want to do it, and that I wasn't willing to put in the work. I work on this thing for hours every day. I think about it all the time. I try to find new ways to put it in front of the person that will understand it and say yes. And one of the reasons that Trouble got made was, I always tell people, I did not want to be a waiter. I wanted to own the restaurant on this one. And so I just decided one day we're going to make it. And it's funny, the universe begins to move in that direction. And if it's an idea that's sound and you have a plan, people do fall in with it if you can communicate it. And the reason Trouble Is My Business even exists is I went, well, what was like the cheap B movie back then? I went, oh, film noir. Let's make that. And then I backwards engineered a script that I knew all the people. There it is.
There you go. Yeah.
And this is our giveaway for this evening. We'll be doing that probably in about 15 minutes or so. And it is autographed by him.
Yes. That's what I said at the top of the show when Netter was having some problems there. I said he's it's signed by the writer, the director, and the star. That's just one signature.
And it is autographed, yours and hard-boiled fun, Tom KONKLE.
Yep, and that can be yours, and we'll tell you how in a little bit.
Yep.
But
I was just going to say, that really is a love letter to those kinds of movies. With very limited resources, they made some terrific stories, and it was about faces. I remember there's a famous quote, one of the directors was like, it's about faces, it's what you see. And I was like, you know what, they're right. At the end of the day, you remember how you felt, how somebody's expression was.
Yeah.
I learned so much doing it that when I revisit it, I'm like, oh, right, that's how you extract that little nuance from someone, or I kind of know what they were thinking in that shot. And at the end of the day, if you feel like, I kind of lived it and I kind of know these people, that to me is a win. And film noir is such a specific, visual medium. It's so kind of delicious coming up with the shots and conveying the relationship between the characters through light and shadow, and then they're light and shadowy as characters. It just made sense for me, rather than do what a lot of people do, which there's completely valid, but another zombie movie or two guys on a couch talking, or do somebody in a convenience store. I was like, well, what's a Tom thing to do? And I was like, of course, 1940s period piece with 2000 visual effects. Let's do
Yeah.
that for nothing. You know?
And if you want to know the behind the scenes on Trouble Is My Business, one of the first times Tom was on my channel, we discussed at length Trouble Is My Business, all the different things he did for the scenes and all that. So go check those out.
I remember being rather shocked by some of the scenes. He said, "Oh yeah, that was filmed against a green screen." I'm like, "Wait, seriously?"
You could not tell.
Yeah,
You really could not
some of the
tell.
outdoor stuff. It got really interesting. I learned a lot, and that will carry forward obviously into Island. Michael Smith, who is my producing partner at Luminactus, is a visual effects guy, and we field tested a lot of stuff. But we have some great new tricks that we'll be able to do on Island, and a couple other films that we want to make, like Test Drive is another film that we're talking about using this high technology in order to do. So, yeah, I'm just delighted about your channel. I'm so happy that you have that the Blu-ray and you're willing to give that to somebody. And I encourage everybody, if you haven't subscribe to this channel. You're just terrific people and so supportive of the arts. And every time I'm on here, we have such great conversations. This is definitely a channel worth subscribing to. And now that you can accept memberships, I encourage you, because those memberships allow them to have the time. It buys time to do the things they want to do for the channel. So it isn't a gift. It really is you giving them some money. I know that personally because they've supported my channel as well. You need to be able to have some resources to, like, oh, I'd like to download that music package, or I'd like that little graphic thing. It would be better on my channel. And that's the only way to grow.
With only 18 subscribers, I think I've got a fair way to go.
I'm one of them.
It does. It's. I mean, we've been at it for years just to get to where we're at. It's rough.
Yeah, because it's like,
and
I know
it takes
I
money
started
to
my
make
channel during COVID because I was unemployed, had nothing to do. Troy had started his, I want to say a few months earlier, and I'm like, I can do that, and I'm not doing anything else right now. Let me try this, And my very first one, because I didn't know how to edit or anything, I did a box folding video because sometimes you got that really great box, and but when you break it down to fold it, it takes up a lot of space. So I showed how to make it take up less space.
And then I showed her how to edit videos.
But I did that entire video.
She was doing all of her videos in one take.
Yeah.
If it was a 20-minute video and she messed it up, she had to go back to the beginning and start all over again. And I said, okay, this is not going to work. You need to be able to edit your videos.
I did that very first one. It took me about, I want to say, like 17 takes before I got through it without dropping the box or flubbing a line. And it's not a very long video either. And it's just like, yeah, this is going to get old real fast.
And how did I learn how to edit? With Skillshare. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. This is not a sponsored stream. No, literally self-taught. I mean, so. So, in my first few videos, I had comments down below where people were like, man, why is the sound so off and this and that? I'm like, because I don't know what I'm doing. Where's your channel? And, I can get some pointers. You don't have any content on your channel, but you got a lot to say. But that's why I do have to say I so appreciate, and I've said this to both of you before, that you guys are so kind to people like Netta and myself, because I feel like you guys are the pros, and then you'd come on our channel, and it's like
you can see how professional we were, be dropping out twice.
Well. Even, let's face it, even the professionals have technical difficulties. Yeah, there's always technical.
You know what? It's really kind of you to say that, and I have to admit, one of the things that I've always felt is that we really don't exist without people like you. Like, you loving it is the juice that keeps me up till 2 a.m. doing it, because it's like, well, Troy's going to laugh at this. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Like when you guys were saying something about Ghost Quest or some of these other things, it's like, that's the point of me doing that stuff. It's like, if someone gets a giggle out of it or laughs at me or with me or whatever, it's kind of worth it. Like one should not forget that. Like it's too easy to kind of go, well, these things are coming down from on high. It's like, no, they're not. We're down in the trenches with you, and we are grateful for you, and we wouldn't exist without you guys. When you talk about editing, it's funny because it's like I don't remember a time when I wasn't editing. I remember when I was a kid, I was probably like 8 or 9, and I got my first like Super 8 film that I used to glue together, and I would put a piece of tape in, and I'd get razor blades and cut it. And then by the time I got to school, it was something called a flatbed. Do you know what a flatbed editor is?
Of course.
It's like a bunch of different plates, and you would have a thing that was a Steenbeck, and you would set up these plates, and you had to mark with magic marker the sound, and you put an X on it, and then line it up with a grease pencil X on the film. And I had to hang each little piece of film in a bin, and you had one shot when you finally did the movie. You had to scrape the emulsion off the film, like permanently ruin the negative on it, and glue the two pieces together. If you made one mistake, that's
why I brought up this comment from Darth Plato. Editing involves scissors, right? Yes, yes, it did at one time.
And glue and a lot of hope. But yeah,
literally, when George Lucas was doing it, his wife Marcia was doing that.
Oh yeah, she was a brilliant editor, and editing is the third time a movie's made or a video's made. It's the writing, shooting, and then the editing. And I've had so many things come together in the edit bay and surprise me. That now I really think like an editor when I'm filming, when I'm shooting, because I know I need to go to that side, and I know I'm going to need that shot, and I know I'm going to cut to that, and I know I don't need that. So it's made me a better director and a better shooter to know how it's going to be cut, because I can assemble the whole thing in my head now. Like I would cut something recently, it was like an hour and 42 minutes, and I did not write down any notes. I had memorized all the shots and knew everything that I wanted to assemble on it. Yeah. I just got asked to direct another film called Paleface, and I've been cutting promos of it and meeting people, and I think I sent you the video.
Hey, that's your cue to call that up.
Yes, it's what is that? It's about a 7-minute video. I could bring that up right now.
It's a talk, with Michael Horse. He's one of the stars of it, and Paleface is a Native American cast, Native American setting, which was kind of cool, but it's a sci-fi abduction thriller set in a reservation in the West. And it really excited me that they are going to, it's not, window dressing that's the setting, it's intrinsic to it. There's legends of the sky people. And I know you were talking about Twin Peaks, and Deleted has a thing about Twin Peaks on Tuesday, you said?
On Tuesdays, yeah.
So Michael and I, he's in the film, and so he was excited about me directing him. So we had a Zoom, and we're talking about it because the Paleface people are also raising their money through a crowdfunding that they're doing. And I wanted to share that video because I know you guys were into Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like, and Lucinda, if you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind playing that right now. So, Deleted, check this out. We'll do this again on Tuesday. Yeah. We'll play this video, and then maybe if you have a Tuesday night one night, Tom, and you want to jump on Deleted's channel, I hope you don't mind me volunteering your channel, Deleted. But
that might be fun. That actually might be a lot of fun.
But
for those of you who hadn't heard me say it earlier, one of my contact lenses is acting skewy, so I have to keep kind of tilting my head to be able to read.
We're real pros here.
So if you see me cocking my head weird, it's because I'm trying to get my contact lens to focus on words.
Okay.
I totally understand.
So I'm going to go ahead and it's actually 9 minutes. So, and I because of the way StreamYard works, I think we're going to be out of it until after this. So we'll see on the other side of this.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. See, I'm again professional, right? So I'll see you on the other end of it, and then we can talk about it. Be right back.
Well, let me set it up real quick.
Yes.
He is one of the stars. Actually, I see some of the people from Paleface are in the
yes
chat. W.D. Kilpack III is in there, and he is.
And Blue Wrenches, can you make sure that you share out their channels too? I've been trying to subscribe as I've seen them.
That's his book, Paleface, which is the original. It's an award-winning book. He wrote that, and then it's been adapted out to this feature. And because it has this wonderful Native American setting and Native American cast, one of the people we were able to reach out to was Michael Horse. And so this video that we're about to watch is I sat down with him on Zoom and we chatted about the project and how he felt about it and his career. And I was so excited to talk to him because I had worked on Twin Peaks back in the 90s, and I'd met David Lynch when the DVDs came out. So I just wanted to share this kind of insight. He's such a nice man and an interesting chap. I thought you might like it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna hit play, and I'll see you guys on the other side of it.
This film is a special interest to me. I'm getting older in my career, and I don't want to waste my time doing anything anymore that I really don't believe in. And I think this is a film that if you help us make this film, you're going to be really proud of yourself. You go, geez, I had something to do with that. And I know there's a lot of people that are watching. There's so much garbage on television now. I got cable, there's a million things, and I go, who made this? Why did they make it? I think that anybody that's involved in this project is really going to feel good about being a part of it.
I'm excited to be directing you. I really am.
Anybody that helps out with this is going to be, going to be really proud. I've done a couple of things where I've helped some young kids, and I see it, and I'm really proud that I helped get it made.
How do you like to rehearse? Do you prefer a lot of discussion, or do you like to find it when you're there on the set?
I like to kind of find it when they're, but directors like me because I've been married 5 times. I do whatever I'm told. I go on these jobs and people go this and I go, look, I'll be on time. I'll do what I'm told. It's somebody like you. Once I read what you're doing and have trust in you, you're not going to get a lot of crap from me. And reading this project, I realized that, somebody really did their research and reached out,
And what really resonated with me is that the setting wasn't just window dressing, where it's like, hey, we're going to do this Native American thing. It's like, it's intrinsic, and it's about him being in 2 worlds, and that supernatural element of it makes him confront who he is and what he's doing. I was like, that's great, because we're all human. Like, we all have these stories.
I tell people, don't write a Native story. Write about the human condition.
Yeah.
And this story intrigued me because, there's long histories of the sky people coming down and giving gifts to indigenous people of knowledge and wisdom, and they were greeted with such love and revered. And I think in today's climate, that wouldn't be the way that these people would be greeted. And the thing that really got me about this is a relationship between a grandfather and a grandson. There isn't anybody out there in any culture that can't relate to an older person trying to hand down some wisdom and some cultural history to somebody younger, hoping that they don't make the same mistakes that maybe they did, or just helping them try to navigate into being a healthier, stronger, older person.
The important relationship between an older man and mentoring a younger man, passing that on. Like the cultures that respected their elders and knew that there was that wisdom, they were much more centered. There was much more of a connection.
We were all tribal people over time. There's no wisdom to any particular race. Just as some of them lost their original instructions.
That's right. I like the way you said that. Their original instructions is very true.
One of the elders told me one time, he said, you want to find out about any culture, find out what they eat, what they find holy, and what they find funny. Like, I'd love to ask, like Iraqi guys, tell me a joke, really.
That's great. When you're acting, you have a background as a painter and
and I'm an old musician. I was a studio. I played with everybody from Earl Haggard to Etta James. Where I got tired of being on the road.
Yeah. What do you play? You play guitar?
No, I'm the worst guitar. But I left home really young, and I didn't want to take the guitar; it was too heavy. So I took the violin, and I headed towards New York when I was a kid, and truck drivers would drop you off in a cornfield somewhere in the middle of Nebraska, and the next ride might be 4 hours. So I'd sit and play that fiddle, and I got good.
Like, I'm excited to be directing you in Paleface, and one of the things that I've been working with Bill about is like dialogue's everything, and revealing characters everything. And if it's not there in the page, I told him, a movie's made 3 times. It's the script, It's you shooting it, and then what they do in the post process when we edit it and do it. But you have to have an actor's back. You've got to have it where they feel like they can throw down, and they're giving you their A game, but you're catching it, because so many people wait, and they'll shoot your backside for hours and then come around for one close-up when that's when you're delivering your line and what you want. And there's nothing more frustrating for an actor going, I've been throwing down great performances for hours here and you haven't been catching it. So it's super important how you create an environment where it's like, hey, if I throw this down, he's actually getting it.
I've done some movies with some really iconic. I did one of Glenn Ford's last films, and he took 17 takes, and it wasn't very good. And by the time I see it, I suck, and he's like brilliant. I realized, we can fix this stuff. it took me a long time to just relax.
That's important, isn't it? Relaxing.
And I do a lot of voiceover work, and it was really interesting. I had to learn to be really interesting with my voice, and it didn't matter how I looked, or so that really taught me how important it was what I was saying.
Why is it important to have these indie projects, and what about this would you hope that somebody would want to take a look at your work in it and the work that we're doing?
Well, again, I'm a storyteller. I come from a long history of storytellers. And, Hollywood is, if I have to see one more superhero, I'm going to blow my brains out, and tell a story, and if you tell a story, people for years said Westerns are dead, no, they just weren't done very well. And then, here comes, Unforgiven or Yellowstone or something, and they're huge hits because they touch the human condition. And that's what this piece does. And that's what I found out about. And it's also about, we've become very compressed in our thinking, we live in a very small planet in the Bakersfield of one universe, and what they say is an endless amount of universes, so the possibilities of what else is out there is endless, and if you don't open your mind to that, and again, it's like reevaluating when we do experience what's out there, how are we going to react to it? And I think that there isn't any culture and any religion that doesn't understand patience and kindness, and that's what this has a lot to do with it. We've kind of lost our way, and again, it's nothing cultural. It just has to do with years of a different value system, and I think that this reevaluates a lot of that. What is really important?
I'll learn little tricks and I'll learn things from you. That's the fun part of doing this. Like, the hard part's finding the money and doing all that, but the treat to it is meeting the people and getting to play and create that stuff. And every time I get to meet someone like you and get mentored by them and hear stories, I just love it, because it makes me better as a person, which makes me better as a director, I think.
Well, I from talking to you now, I'm twice as excited to work with you. There's some directors, they'll push you around just like furniture, which is okay. It's everybody does something in their own way.
Right.
But there's some directors I really like to work with. I'm looking forward to it. And there's a lot of fans of Twin Peaks still out there. It's amazing to me. A lot of people, and David has that same thing. When David started to push things, people go, oh, nobody's going to be interested. It's too strange, But it took people to a place that they'd never seen before, which is really interesting.
You're right. We've become disconnected from the experience of being alive.
Yeah. And I think this will touch people. It's like I said, I'm always looking for the story.
Yeah.
And when you tell the story and it's a good one, you're gonna make some money. A lot of these little films, and people go, oh my God, how come we didn't see that? They get passed around the table many times. Well, you're looking for something that happened before, that you want to copy, or you're just not paying attention.
definitely want to get you back on Deleted Scenes channel. The nice thing about that is he's big time. So when you come on his channel, we'll put you out on. We simulcast, so you'll still be on Netters, you'll be on mine, you'll be on Age of Boomers channel, so you'll hit all of us.
That's
and get as much view as we can, because I am now fired up. I'm as fired up about this as I am about Island in the Stars. One
I
of
don't
the
know
things,
if Bill saw this comment, so I brought it up.
Right.
Bill,
Thank you.
what is the Indiegogo link for Paleface?
That's
Please
right.
drop it in the chat. Oh,
Drop
actually,
it in there. Check out the project. It's
I'll
really
find it.
worthwhile. Yeah.
hold on.
or you can look at it while I'm asking.
And
So
see, that's
there was
that's one of the things. It's exactly what we were talking about, which is the Island in the Stars project, and that has an Indiegogo. This has its Indiegogo. This is the grassroots to do a story that Hollywood absolutely would not do. You know, that we would have to go through hoops to get.
One of the things that Michael was saying there that made me think of what we were talking about previously is just the way stories are told. You know, good storytelling versus what we're getting a lot of from TV and the entertainment industry now. And it made me, and if he brought up Twin Peaks too, so I hope no one would mind me making this correlation, but on Deleted's channel, on Live from Sparkwood and 21, we've been watching through the episodes of the Showtime special, which he was featured in very prominently, and his best scenes were him on the telephone talking with Catherine Coulson's character, the log lady, and honestly, and some of those, it was just her talking and him just reacting silently.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, breaking our hearts. Some of those conversations, I was just in tears.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of that is tied up with Catherine, knowing that was her last role. She literally passed away after filming her scenes.
Yeah.
But his reactions were so sage and so kind, you know, and he brought so much to that without saying any words. Now,
he's very stoic. Yeah,
that's also a credit to the editing too, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So it's all about all of these elements coming together to do what? To make Troy cry. And that's a fabulous thing. That's worth whatever, however much money I can put into whatever project to help make it happen. You know, $10 for a movie ticket is way overpriced for a lot of the stuff we're seeing these days, but it is a steal, a bargain if it moves you and you remember it and you want to go back and see it again.
Yeah, it becomes part of you. It becomes an experience that you can revisit. And let's face it, Twin Peaks there was nothing like it before it, and it was the indie film of television. Like nobody, no studio would do that. You know, that had to be pushed through. That was a different way. We take it for granted now because of long form and all the stuff that's out now. But back then, they were just scratching their heads about it. And it was an indie film, essentially, as a TV series. Like, what if I did the aesthetic of an indie film, but it happened to be on television, was originally sort of the ideas behind it? How do I tell the story differently? And David Lynch's vision as to, well, this is how we're going to deliver it, and this is the world I'm building. And it stuck. But someone had to take a chance and say yes to that and get it to go up. And that's what's happening now. It's like, we're complaining about it, and I'm with you, but we can be positive about it. Let's do something about it. Let's make new stuff.
This is what I was saying, you know, putting the money where your mouth is, which got me thinking about something else. And I'm sure that the rest of the chat, especially those that have contributed, I saw that Curtis had said he did the Captain My Captain tier tonight. So when we think about movie making. And again, we're a bunch of people that aren't in the industry. We don't know how this stuff works, but we tend to see stuff in the news that implies, millions and millions of dollars to make these movies that they're trying to make billions of dollars with. We can't even wrap our heads around these kinds of things. And it's like, well, if I'm going to contribute $20, $40, up to maybe $200 if I'm,
or more.
Yeah, if Netter and I are like, okay, can we wait a couple weeks? Yes, we can. That seems
wait
like
till Friday when we get paid. Yes,
yeah,
okay, let's do it.
That seems like such a drop in the bucket. Can you encourage us with, yeah, it actually does help? Please tell us that.
Absolutely. One of the things that Lucinda and I have done is with the resources that came from the initial money raise, we were literally introduced to someone who ended up being one of the bigger financiers from it, just from our appearances and the fact that we put ourselves out there doing the crowdfunding. But more importantly, that was the only way we got access to people like, I think I could say it, like Michelle Yeoh or Carl Urban or different people who may or may not be interested in being it. And Sam Neill, Mel Gibson. That would not happen without some kind of capitalization. We have put our own money into this, and certainly Lucinda has put sweat equity and money into it. Mike has, I have, for years to get it going. These things don't happen overnight. I've plowed. Anytime I make money, I'm like, okay, I can pay for this now. So it's a passion project, but it also is a business. And what we're trying to do is with this seed money that is coming out of the crowdfunding, that's what allows access that we wouldn't normally have. To afford an entertainment lawyer who oddly is, you could know somebody and they won't open your package, but if this guy calls, it gets open the next day. Oh, a lawyer sent it? Okay, we'll open it. And that happens over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And even with distribution and all these things that we need to have the infrastructure to do business. So $25 goes towards doing those kinds of things where you need to be able to say, okay, we need to subscribe to this thing. We need to have somebody go over legal on this. We need to send this thing out to Australia. Well, that all costs money. So every little bit helps because we're plowing our own money into it as well. And again, like I say, the more people that sign up for it, we can say, look, there's people that are interested in seeing it already. And that's also important. When you're in a pitch, it's like, well, does anybody want to see this? It's like, well, I can show them.
We're lined up already.
Yeah. And I literally have videos on there. Lucinda had put these on the Indiegogo page of our appearances on these things. And you can see the excitement, enthusiasm. So like, oh, something original and new. And it's positive. It's not dark and like deconstructing.
I can't tell you how I said when you first popped into the green room and I was talking to you, I said I saw that you had our conversation. I can't remember if it was my channel or Netter's channel, but it was so encouraging to see that on your Indiegogo page. I'm like, man, that's super encouraging because that puts some eyes on our channel and stuff. But then I started to realize from what you just said. But it's also telling the people that you sit down with, look at these people. These people are like the people lined up in front of the theater with their money in hand waiting to buy a ticket. Well, they've already bought their ticket. They're still waiting in line to see this movie. We haven't even, started filming yet. You know?
And I'll tell you, let's be transparent about it. One of the things that the money that went into crowdfunding, I'll show you. Well, people go, well, wait a minute, I put this much money. How does $70,000 turn into this $25 million movie? It's a great question. Movie finance works like this. We have taken that and used a lawyer to draft something that's requesting an LOI. An LOI is a letter of intent. And that LOI goes out to high-value finance entities, investors, and basically we're asking those people to put up $2, $3, $4 million through an LOI, non-binding, so we're not occupying their money, but we're showing proof of funds. If somebody wanted to buy your house and they said, I have $1 million, you wouldn't give them the house without proving you have the funds.
Right,
So
exactly.
we have that with proof of funds so that we can turn around and go to a Michelle Yeoh or Carl Urban who let's say hypothetically they said, we love it, we want to do it. You have to be able to pay them. And you have to have their agent, who is the gatekeeper, go, well, are you legit or are you full of it? And that's a legit thing because you don't want everybody around town saying, oh, Carl's in my movie, and you don't have any money. So with that LOI for several $1,000,000 that is non-binding, um, you can go to an agent and play chicken. And you take that LOI and you go, I have $2,000,000, and you really do. And you say, would I provisionally, if their schedule's good, if they still want to do it, if everything lines up, can we tell somebody that this person's in it? And then once you've shown that, if they go back and they go, hey, you love the script, we thought it was great, yes, you can tell them that I would do it provisionally. Well, then you turn right around to a distributor and you go, what's Michelle worth? $9 million in Asia. So then you cash flow that $9 million distribution contract. Now that's how you make a $25 million film, because that balloons. Now you go to somebody, you go, I have $9 million. What can I get, from Screen Australia? What can I get from this other distributor? How do I parlay it? And you piecemeal it together so that your $70,000 generated the flow that led you to that 25, because you need that initial money to get the proper legal stuff together to get the money. So when someone goes, well, how does that go to this? It's actually a really important step. Hiring somebody to do the proper legal stuff and all the financial stuff to then be ready to accept that much money, those millions of dollars. You can't just go, hey, they gave me $2 million. I better open a bank account. What do I do? That's a lot of money. And so we have to have the legal forms and the structure that they feel comfortable. My obligation is to make sure that somebody who puts a lot of money in gets it back, that they get their investment back. That, as an artist, I owe them that because they believed in me. So I love maps. That's great.
I actually don't remember which tiers we got into, but I
got that one too.
I was going to say I'm pretty sure I got that one because I'm the same way.
We got a good map there. But just to finish the thought off, it seems like a leap, but it's a super important leap, and it's how things really get going. The juice that you give it on the grassroots level gives you the resources to draft a piece of paper or to have a lawyer that they can call and go, I'm a high worth person, but before I put $2 million, are they legit? And can you prove that you have all the paperwork? Well, we spent the 70 to get all that stuff together so that we can show that to them. So we're at that stage now. And though it seems like a far distance, the leaps become exponential as you go. If we can get the two, then we say we have the person, then you can get the distribution contract that then Lucinda and I would cash flow. And that cash flow is millions of dollars. And between that and something called the producer's offset, which is another way that we get money to come back to us because we're spending money, that can make up the difference.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
you go. So
and that's on your Indiegogo page. You even talk about this goes for this much goes for this much goes for this.
That's correct.
So you know exactly where this money is going.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. There's no doubt.
Clarity. Yeah, it's important. If you guys are going to invest your time and money with us, we owe you the transparency of it, but also we can share like this is how. There's no magic to it. This is how it gets made. This is
I mean,
Isn't that a perk? I think there's a perk called the Tom Focus perk. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask. Well, I mean, obviously, either one of you, but I was going to kind of put it to Lucinda. Where? So, again, I know you've gone through this, but our heads get to swimming on where in the process we are. So maybe this is an unfair question, but if we were to say from, hey, I have an idea about a movie to lights, camera, action, where would you say we are in the process? Maybe percentage or
about 10 to midnight. The hard part was convincing anybody it was a good idea, then doing the pitch package, doing the script, Lucinda doing the budget, doing all these things. The ball really starts to roll fast if we've prepared the offering to. I've met with an investor about a week and a half ago. Was it a week and a half ago, Lucinda? The investor? Yeah, about a week and a half ago, and they were very keen, and I gave them all the paperwork. I gave them the request for the LOI, paperwork, or what it would be. I need to multiply that person and have that meeting, 10 different times to hit it. But then once that happens, exponentially, we start seeing a lot more happening.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just really quick, and I didn't want to get too into, obviously we've got the link right there at the top. Go check it out. Mm-hmm. Check out Netter's previous conversation with Tom and Lucinda, because
several.
Yeah, there's been several of them. That's true.
Troy and I are so passionate about this project ourselves.
Yeah, we're pretty fired up about
it. We've had Tom and Lucinda on 3-4 times, right?
We have gone through all the different tiers and whatnot. Is Emily still in? Is Emily still in for the
the meet and greet?
No. Yeah, I mean, she's still starring in this thing, right? I don't know, because a lot of people, are like, wow, yeah, I want to see it just for her.
Yeah, she's great. And she's been recording a new album. She's doing really well here in LA. She's been playing a lot of live gigs as a musician as well. But yeah, she's
guys, and some of you girls, go check out Emily Coop. You'll thank me.
She's wonderful.
You'll thank me later.
Only $349, and you can meet her.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That is one of the perks. You can actually
do a meet and greet. Exactly. You never know. Yeah.
There's actually meet and greets with just about everyone involved. Go check it out.
Vernon Wells, if you're a fan of Vernon, he's available to meet and greet as well.
This is something else I hadn't thought about until just this past couple months. Talking with some of my friends that are starting to go back to sci-fi conventions and whatnot. Guys, look at what you're paying to go to Comic-Con and the special packages to get the autographs and the photo ops and stuff. Well, that's exactly what some of the perks are here for Island in the Stars. And you can be getting in on that before anyone even, yeah, Star Trek fans, Star Wars fans, whatever, you will already be the one who's got the picture with the star, who's got the autograph, who's already met them, and you're like, that's all that. I've already been a fan.
Make that. Yeah, I helped.
Yeah, I helped make that movie. Yeah, I mean, who could say that about Star Wars besides George Lucas, right? But there's a whole bunch of us that are going to feel a certain amount of a tiny little bit of ownership of the franchise, which I've always said as a fan, you should feel a certain amount of ownership, right? We always talk about what is canon. What is canon for this story, right? Well, canon is set by the writers and the property owners. Kinda, but what stays canon is what the fans accept. Because otherwise it dies.
It's out. Once it's released, it actually goes to everybody. Everyone has a little piece of it. I felt that, even with Trouble Is My Business, I felt that. Once it went out, people started having opinions about it, and different people, I thought this was going to happen, or that guy should have died, or this kind of thing. It's like, they own it now. Which is important. I think it does go out to all of us, and eventually it all becomes part of us. And a good thing you want to be part of, and you feel proprietary about it. You don't want canon messed up because you actually like canon. Like, it's a deep dive. It's a way to just get away from your problems and live in another world and kind of imagine them and think about it. That's an important thing as a human being to have. It's the experience of life.
I mean, and I know I'm way ahead of the cart here, and I said this before, we got to start talking about action figures. We got to talk about role-playing games, because I think this is something that a lot of these franchises have very much missed out on.
And as Curtis says, screw ROP, I want to see Island in the Stars. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
Talk about a project nobody believed in. My goodness. Yeah. ROP. You know what? There is a lot of potential for it, because love these characters and the world that you can play in with it. It has these wonderful kind of rules and things in it, but by the same token, it is open. Like it's a sort of open universe that you could have these different adventures in. And you're like, well, what does it mean that this Australian fleet now has gone out into space and there's these ornate ships that they've made things artful the way they used to make boats where you lived on this boat. It would be a thing of beauty, not utilitarian. It's like, well, what would happen if that culture went forward, and you have all these adventures that you could have, and there's space pirates and all these different things. So yeah, the possibilities excite you, and there's all these stories that you can tell. And this specific story is an adventure where the world around her perfectly works to kind of have her go on this adventure, this call to adventure, but it also works for other characters as well. It's like there's side quests, there's side things that you can do. So without even originally intending it, we did create something that does lend itself to having more story, more explorations of it, because it's got definite rules and it has a definite voice.
One of the things I appreciate about, and him, Script Doctor, he's always talking about, just like all the fans are, talking about canon, talking about world building and so on and so forth. And this is not just, fanboy, nerdiness. This is good storytelling, right?
And speaking of good storytelling, Trouble is My Business.
Oh, are you want to go ahead?
We're actually past the top of the hour. So
matter.
Anyone who would love to win an autographed copy of Trouble is My Business, signed by Tom KONKLE, put the word trouble in the chat. Trouble, TROUBLE,
just like the song.
Yes. And I will be doing the Wheel of Things and pick a winner. Now, if you want to win it, you do have to be willing to share your address with me.
Otherwise, how are we going to mail it to you?
Yeah. So once I have the winner, I will put my email address in the chat.
You can email.
And you can just email me your address.
There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Something that's special about that Blu-ray I should mention. That is the black and white version.
Yep.
The 2K high def version. The sound on that particular version is so much crisper. It's a 5.1 mix on that disc. Unlike what you might see streaming, it's full surround sound. And there you go. And I did sign it, which I definitely think that is the definitive version right now of the film. That particular copy and presenting it in high definition black and white, that's the way to go.
There you go. Yeah. And available on Amazon. You can if you don't win it tonight, you can always get your own copy. Also, still available on Tubi?
Yes, the color version is on Tubi. They would not show the black and white version, so I had to give them the color version. Yeah. It is also on Pluto TV, I think. Pluto.
There you go.
TV. And it might be a few other places. I think Filmsy has it in black and white. The Blu-ray
still on your channel on YouTube?
Yes, it is on the channel on YouTube in black and white. And the Blu-ray is available, I believe, even Walmart and maybe Best Buy. A couple other places have it as well. But the signed copy is my way of celebrating her channel and just how proud I am of you guys for building this thing and getting to this point. It's a real achievement to get to this point with it, where now you can start to get some resources and memberships.
And it's like, really not only do we have the Blu-ray, we've got the DVD too. That's how much we like this.
Got the DVD. Well, I got the DVD first.
Yeah, it's a double disc set. Yeah, that's right.
I got the DVD first, and then the Blu-ray came out. And well, I got to get that one too. And like I said, if you put out like an HD, whatever, I can't even watch HD. I don't have a player to play it, but I'll get the darn thing because maybe someday.
Well, it was shot in 4K. You never know; it might reappear in 4K.
There you go.
So I'm going to give it a few more seconds. If you want to win the autographed copy of Trouble is My Business, put the word trouble in the chat. TROUBLE.
There
in case someone doesn't know how to spell trouble, I'm helping you out.
If you have trouble with trouble.
Well, I don't want them putting treble. I want them to put trouble.
Tribbles. Trouble with tribbles.
Tribbles.
Okay. You got some troubles in there. There's a lot of troubles going around.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that everybody who wants to win is already in there.
Yep.
So you can see I've got tonight's stream selected, the word trouble, And I'm going to start collecting those comments. Draw. And the winner is... Connie Cleary!
Connie Cleary! Awesome, Connie. Well, you know how to reach us. Go ahead and get us an address where we can get that to you. And we will get that out post-haste.
Yeah.
Post-haste by post.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
At first I thought it was going to be either deleted scenes or Big L. And it's like, okay, wait, which one? Which one?
For a second there, I thought it was going to be Lady Myst. But,
yeah.
But,
awesome. So, yeah, Connie, you know how to contact me. So, get me your address and I'll send this right out to you. So,
great.
Congratulations.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
But let's see, what else was I going to?
I did drop the link for the Indiegogo for Paleface, and I was looking at some of the perks, and the perks are very reasonable. They start off at $5, and most of them are like $5, $7, $20, $25, and then it starts getting more expensive from that point on. But there's some really great perks in here.
Really good, reasonable ones in there. These guys are doing a quality thing, and we're going to be shooting it here probably the beginning of next year. So, yeah, take a look at it, and they've got some.
There's a couple things in here I want.
I'm doing some design stuff for them, and you can see the teaser that I put together is on there.
Yeah, I'm going to drop that link one more time.
It's definitely worth a look. Another thing I wanted to mention is I had stopped doing some live things during the weirdness, in 2020, 2021, but I with some members of the Mindstream Players, which is that audio fiction podcast I do, doing a live Halloween show tomorrow night.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm doing it here in LA. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. It's I've kind of rewritten and updated an episode of The Shadow that's Halloween themed. So we'll be performing The Shadow live on stage, and then H.P. Lovecraft's The Rats in the Walls. We're going to be doing a double header that night. So you can come down to this really funky place. It's called the Philosophical Research Society. And it's this place started in the 1920s. Really esoteric, great stuff. Bela Lugosi, all these different people were involved in it. Houdini. They've got an amazing library, amazing theater. And they asked me to come down and do one night only of this show. So we have tickets. If you're in the LA area, come down, check it out. We've been rehearsing this thing over Zoom, actually. But it's going to have live sound effects. We're going to do like the wind machine and all the walking on bones and things. We're going to have live music. There's a keyboard player there actually doing the music live. So it'll be a full night of a really cool stuff where you almost feel like going back in time and watching a radio show get made right in front of your eyes. So that's tomorrow at 7:30.
There you go. And Knights of Real says you should really look into Tom Flash Gordon satires. Yes, those are really. Yeah, he's got a whole playlist of those. That's some really, really good stuff there.
We've done 10 episodes now of the reasonably amazing adventures of Flash Gordon. And it's very much a kind of Naked Gun Monty Python take on the original radio show, which was 1934, I think. It's now public domain. So I just started spoofing it and started going, well, what do I love about it? I love Flash Gordon. How do I make this very silly on my own? And it just kind of snowballed from there. It's a fully immersive, we have a full cast, full sound effects and everything. And one of the cool high wire tricks to it is, for the most part, I do it live on Zoom and record that, and then that becomes the track. So you're actually seeing us do it in the moment rather than individual pieces, like you would construct a regular audio play out of it. So Flash has that energy of being live, but then it's fully immersive. It's got atmosphere and it's got sound effects and music and everything. So check it out. If you want, I can put the link to it in the thing. It's called Radio Reborn is the name of the podcast. And I'll
actually reminds me of all the movies that we've seen, Hollywoodland or whatever, where you see the people, in front of the mics, doing the radio show. You always imagine that's how it was. You can actually see it. You can actually see it, live. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, there it is. Great. Okay, there's that's Dracula and
I dropped the Dracula page, one.
Absolutely.
You'll see some other things on there, including Flash Gordon. Check that out.
Absolutely. Great. Yeah, so definitely want to get you back to talk more about Paleface on a Tuesday. If you got time in the next couple weeks, well, actually, I'll let you work that out with deleted scenes. You've worked with him
figure
before.
that out. That sounds like a lot of fun, but really
And,
glad to be here for your channel tonight. This was fantastic.
And
it's always fun having you guys
if you've got
on.
a Friday sometime soon, maybe I can pull you in for drinks on a last call.
No,
and
Tom's mine. So is Lucinda.
Gonna fight you for him.
Well, it's like,
Hey, we both are invested in this, so this is
actually kind of funny. When Tom was coming onto my channel for the first time, I had been talking to Troy. I was like, I'd like to get Tom on my channel. He goes, he's never going to come on your channel. He's a big guy, and and all this. And it's like, you're just this little tiny channel. He's never going to want to come on. I'm like,
I don't think I put it exactly that way, but
yeah, it's like, he's just this big YouTuber and everything. And so it's like, it never hurts to ask. So I just said, would you like to come on Thursday Things and as a guest? And he's like, sure. I'm like, I got Tom KONKLE. And he's like, how did you get Tom KONKLE?
Yeah,
so I asked.
You never know. Yeah.
Well, she's prettier than me too, so I figure that had something.
But I'll do that for other guests too, where it's like, I'll just ask. I figure the worst they could do is say no, or don't answer me. But it's fun though. I have guests like you guys. It's just so much fun. I love hearing about the process of what's going on with Island in the Stars, other things that you guys have worked on or are working on right now. It's just so amazing, just the process, because I'm a behind the scenes person where it's like I know none of this, and so to hear it all, it's like, wow, this is fantastic. I mean, the closest I've been to any of this is I've been a movie extra. Twice.
They're very important.
She was in, the one that she's most obvious in was Poltergeist 3. We've done a watch party because she's right behind, what was her name? Nancy Allen. She's right behind Nancy Allen on the escalator. And we're like, there's not her.
There.
Yeah, she had short hair back then.
I had very short hair. I'm wearing a long sleeve pink blouse. I've got a black jacket over my right arm, and I'm wearing dark trousers, and I'm right behind her. Yeah. And as she's going up the escalator, she gets off and turns to the left to go into what's supposed to be an art gallery. It was actually a luggage shop. And I'm going forward, and there was one version of it that I can't find now, where you actually heard me saying, "Oh, what cute baby clothes!"
So she had a line on television.
She had a line in there.
But then it got cut in subsequent ones, so it's like, oh well.
And my only claim to fame is, some live dinner theater here in the Chicago area, but it's professional acting.
Well, for my 18 subscribers, they can go on my channel and see my little extra appearance on Full Frontal with Eric Barner.
Actually, I would encourage people to definitely check out that channel, because you should really see all the things that Lucinda's worked on. Check out that IMDb thing too. That's now I know who she is.
Lucinda has worked on so much. I mean, it's incredible. So yes, definitely check out her channel. In fact, if one of my blue wrenches could grab the link to her channel and drop it in the chat, I'd appreciate
That'd be great. Thanks.
Right. She's
But
got to make some new stuff, Lucinda.
Yeah. Like you aren't busy enough, right?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be here to promote you in any way that we absolutely can, because
I appreciate that.
Because we love the work you do, and we want to see more of it. Because
thank you. The last thing I was going to bring up on Tubi TV, speaking of Tubi, I have a new comedy special. It's an hour and a half long of Invention with Brian Forbes. It's sort of a best of with some new stuff in there, but it's on Tubi TV right now. So if you look up Invention with Brian Forbes, it premiered a couple of weeks ago, and it's doing really well on the channel.
Let's see.
So please check it out. The more views on it, the higher it gets up in there. it starts to get shown more. So if you look for Invention with Brian Forbes on Tubi, it's right there.
Awesome.
And I just made you a mod, so you can drop
So
links.
you can drop links now if you want to.
And listen,
Absolutely.
if you drop a comment in the chat, I can make you a mod as well.
Yeah. Because that really does maximize your ability to share with the audience when you're on with us.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Add as mod.
There you go. Drop a comment. I dropped a comment.
So now you're both mods.
There you go. So yeah, that's all I got. I hope, if nothing else, I got across how excited I am. I've been told my enthusiasm is contagious. So you know, if I'm going to be contagious and you're going to catch anything from me, catch my enthusiasm.
Catch our dreams. That's the thing to catch.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us on here. Congrats on the channel.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Yeah.
much.
I'm just excited that not only did I reach the 3,000 watch hours, which seemed to be the easy part, I finally got over that second hurdle of getting my Google AdSense account
red
set
tape.
up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The weird thing was they kept insisting I had an AdSense account. And I'm like, I don't remember having one, but I looked and apparently I did. So I closed it because they're like, you can't have two. And then when I would go to open the AdSense account, they're like, you already have an AdSense account. You have to close it. I'm like, but I did close it. And then I found an article somewhere after doing a lot of research that said, if you had an AdSense account, you are forever linked. That email is forever linked to that AdSense account. So you can like never use it again, basically to open up the one for monetization. So what I ended up doing is I had a second Gmail email address, and I connected to that, but you have to do, there's like a little button that says something like change
allocation
or something like that, or affiliation or something like that. So you click on that, and then you can use the other email address.
There we go.
And it's like, oh my goodness, it was a chore.
Yeah,
and then today it said it was like pending. And then I happened to refresh because I was setting up my stream for today. And I'm like, it says done. I'm finally past it. I was so excited.
So I did want to real quick mention last thing about the Indiegogo for Island in the Stars. Yeah. The original goal was like 68,000. We're sitting at 75,585, which is great. But we could and really. This is one where you really want to take the time to go to that Indiegogo, read through it, because it explains what they're doing with the money and how, 75,000, great, but if we get to this point, this is what we can do, and if we can get to this point, this is what we could do.
Exactly.
So think about it from the point of view of somebody who's going to be going to see this movie and go, man, that's what I'd like to see. You know.
At the end of the day, that's
Absolutely.
your way of voting for something different, voting for something independent that Hollywood's just not going to make. And more importantly, that money now, these what they call them stretch goals, those goals are very specifically, we're ready now to start making those offers. We're ready to go to the lawyer. We're ready to do these things. So you doing that now gives us even more resource to do that. And as we move into the end of the year, we wanted to get this thing going. So please take a look, jump on board.
And because of my enthusiasm, again, getting ahead of the cart, you're also kind of making it possible so that, hey, get some momentum going. Maybe we get sequels. Maybe we get other movies, other projects in the future. That's kind of how this whole industry works. Yeah. So you can't even realize how much of an impact you can have by... it's that butterfly wing, in time that alters all of future history. So
Absolutely.
It's a ripple effect, and it really does make a difference. You believing in it enough to go, you know what, this is worth my time and money to put something in, does make a difference to our ability to do it. And that's just simple, plain, transparent truth. We are at the step now where we're starting to want to make offers and reach out to people. So anybody jumping in now to get a fly on the wall, getting closer to being able to do that.
Absolutely.
I do have to admit, now I'm a little intimidated. There is the distinct possibility that Mel Gibson now might see my show to show how enthused a fan is, and it's like,
That's right.
oh boy.
Who might show up? That's absolutely true.
You know,
Yeah.
Back on here too.
And we are going to be wrapping up shortly. But I want to remind everyone, if you stay right here, you'll be redirected to deleted scenes for
Yes.
his weekend update. So don't go
Absolutely.
anywhere after we do our wrap up. So since we do wrap up, because I know your time is valuable, we've already had you for an hour and a half, which is fantastic.
yeah, thanks so much.
Lucinda, any final words?
No, I'm pretty good. I've got stuff up on Tubi and Amazon and feature films up there if anybody wants to check them out. A bunch of different stuff.
Awesome.
Got
That's
lots of
why I
other
said check
films up.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you look her up there, you see the different movies, and most of them have a link directly to Tubi. You can, you know,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there
yeah,
you go.
thank you.
Mhm,
Yeah, just got
mhm.
exciting stuff happening, and I really want to get this film made. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Sounds
Tom,
good.
any final words?
Just thank you again. Congrats on the channel. Look forward
you.
to coming back and having more news for you. And if anybody's in the LA area and wants to see a live show, it's tomorrow. And I appreciate your support on everything Paleface. I'm really delighted
Yes.
to be directing that film for them. And more importantly, I'm really excited about being able to create some more new stuff. I've put some new things on my YouTube channel, so check all that out, Ghost Quest and some other comedy. So I'm just trying to get more stuff out there. So thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, and of course, once you have some more updates, love to have you back on so we can
Absolutely.
just keep everyone in the loop. This is what's going on. This is where we're at right now. So just let me know when you want to come back on and give another update. And you are always welcome. Both of you are always welcome.
Thank you.
We will be back, I'm sure.
There you go.
Like I said, if you stay right here, you'll be redirected to deleted scenes for his weekend update. Let's see, today is Thursday, Friday. Over on Last Call, do you have any business going on?
Yes, we're gonna take in getting excited about Halloween. We're gonna take you back to the 70s. I'm gonna share some of my memories about the Halloween season back in the 70s, and we are going to watch together the Paul Lynde Halloween special with Kiss.
Oh, Lynn, I love it.
For you young people who don't know who Kiss is, they were a rock band. They wore makeup.
Yes. And for whatever reason, the one that looked like a cat wasn't as popular as the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly. I'll explain all the cultural references for you young folks, and
That's great.
and I will be drinking too, so it'll get more fun for you as the stream goes.
And then Saturday night, over right back here on Nutters
Right
Network,
here.
Retro Cinema, we'll be watching Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. Let's see. And then, of course, deleted scenes all the time, which he'll talk about on his weekend update coming up next.
You guys know it. Geeky
Right.
Geezers on Sunday.
Monday night, the movies. What are you going to be showing?
I honestly don't remember. It is.
We do this every week, honey.
Oh, I can't read it. I'll let you guys know. Just keep an eye on my channel. You guys will see
It'll
it
be
when
a double
it goes
feature
up.
of something.
Something Halloween related. It'll be good.
Tuesday over on Deleted Scenes, we'll be having another episode of Sparkwood in 21. It's the final episode of
Final
Twin Peaks?
episode of Twin Peaks: The Returns. Then we're going to take the following week. We're going to try to digest it and talk about what it was we saw and what we think happened.
What did I just see?
And in the meantime, we will be working with Tom to get him on in the future weeks. So we can talk about Paleface, and maybe he can share with us a little bit about the work he did on the
absolutely. Yeah, some
DVDs.
interesting stories there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then right after Sparkwood in 21, we'll be watching another exciting episode of Blake 7.
Blake 7. Absolutely.
Let's see.
Who's your guest next week?
Wednesday, we're not doing anything. Thursday, Thursday, because it is Halloween, we'll be having a horror night.
Yes.
Now, Troy picked out a movie. What's this one?
thought
Behind the
I had-
Mask, isn't it?
It's Behind,
Yes.
Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Oh,
Do you know this one, Tom?
I've heard it's good.
It's
It
kind
is.
of a...
It's funny, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of a horror comedy, and it's about an independent documentary crew following around a serial killer.
I believe that Ben Pace from Trouble Is My Business, yes, he is in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ben Pace is an actor in that movie. He plays Johnny in Trouble Is My Business, the sleazy boyfriend. He is in that. I just looked him up. He's in The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I have a bunch of friends in that film.
Wow, that's awesome. That is really
I have
awesome.
not seen it, but he plays Doug in the film. I don't know if you remember Doug, because I haven't seen the film. Do you remember?
I've
Doug?
only seen the film once, so
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out for him now this week.
Johnny in Trouble Is My Business being in that film, because he is in that movie.
See all these connections? We're making all these connections.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
It's a small town. Like, literally, people tell me movies,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, did I do that movie? Yeah, I think I was.
You're going to IMDb for yourself, right? Going, what did I do?
I have actually done that. Like, I got a
I'm not
thank you
surprised.
one time of a movie, and I did not remember. I was like, did I do that movie? I looked it up. I was like, oh my god, I'm in that. So,
You know,
yeah.
So pro tip to an actual pro: when you go to an event that's for something specific, refresh yourself on what you've done. I was telling a story. No, specifically to that, because I was telling a story on Live from Sparkwood in 21 that Netter and I met one of the stars of the show, and we were working on their security detail. We had lunch with them and so forth, and I made a joke that would be well understood by the character and anybody who knew anything about that person's character, and this person had no clue, just over. And I'm like, and I kind of, when you have to explain a joke, it's kind of
Not funny, yeah.
Explain the joke. She's like, oh,
Yeah, but
and
it's
I'm
already over. Yeah.
okay. What do you think the fans are here for?
I don't remember when we were there. It's weird. The thing is, you do a lot of these things, and as the years go by, sometimes they change the names. Like a funny thing that actually happened, we were talking about Tubi, is Tubi sometimes will list the cast as a clickable thing, like it'll recommend other things. So I had something on Tubi, I think it was Noise in the Middle. It's a horror movie that I'm in.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I love your character in particular.
He was fun. He runs a psychic eye type of store. So I see this recommend Beauty and the Baller under it with my name, like Tom KONKLE. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm in this episode. I guess they changed the name to Beauty and the Baller. I never knew it, but I saw it for the first time since 2018. I had never seen it. So I watched it on Tubi, and I was like, oh my god. It's
and do you do that, like, you watch it and you're like, well, yeah, that is me. I just...
Why did I do that? Yeah, it was very funny. Like, I literally saw it, and I was like, I should make a copy of this or something. Like, I've never seen this before. But I guess they changed the name, or I don't know, or I forgot the name. But that kind of thing does happen, and it's not that you don't care. It's that they're
so much. Yeah,
you show up. If it's not your film, you show up and do it. Or so much time goes by. Like, I shot Bosch Legacy, I think it was March or April of this year. It's not coming out until 2025. So you kind of forget, like, when the series drops, like, they asked me to come in and do something called ADR, which is dialogue replacement, where if it's noisy, you replace your dialogue, you have to reproduce your performance. Well, I saw it up on the screen, I was like, I wore that shirt? I didn't know. Like, 6 months later, I'm like, why am I wearing that green shirt? And it won't come out till next year. So when someone asks me, it's like, well, what's the name of the episode? I'm like, it's Bosch Legacy. I don't know the name of the episode because it hasn't come out yet. You know? And so that does happen, and it is kind of funny. But if you're going to Comic-Con, you should probably know why you're there.
Yes, that was exactly my thought. You know, I mean, in fairness, this person was kind of big on Twin Peaks, but was not there for Twin Peaks. Was actually there for some other project that was coming out in the near future, but using the Star Trek element because this person had been on an episode of Star Trek. So there might have been, you know, a lot to keep track of, but man, Twin Peaks was pretty big at that point. You know?
Lucinda was telling me I should think about doing a Comic-Con or a con. I had a very small part in Star Wars Tales of the Empire.
That's right. That's right.
And it's like a scene, you know, but you're in Star Wars. You know, so she was saying that I should go.
You should. Let me tell you, voice actors now are getting a lot of fan following. Yeah, and it's absolutely awesome for them to be going to conventions and meeting fans directly.
Like, I get more people coming up to me about Red Dead Redemption than some of the other things.
I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, you did that too, right?
Because I'm in both of them, and I'm in the gang, and I know all those guys really well. And it's funny when you go in, IMDb has connections to people. I'll be like, I don't remember him in Red Dead Redemption. It's like you had a scene with him, you know, because you meet hundreds of different characters and stuff going on, but you get recognized for video games and voice acting a lot more now. And I hope if they ever do any more, they kind of set it up with Tales of the Empire that Moff Isdane would come back, and I loved playing him. A funny story, my mom didn't recognize me. I made a big deal. She's 91. And I made a big deal about putting it on, and I get, you know, Disney Plus up, and I put the thing on, and my scene comes on, and she's watching it, and I don't see her move or react. So interesting. So the rest of the show goes on and everything. And at the end, I go, so what do I think? She goes, well, what scene were you in? So tribute to me, she didn't recognize my voice because I was doing an English accent. And
that would do it. That would do it. Absolutely.
That was you? Yeah. But she just didn't. When she didn't move or react, I was like, "Okay, didn't like it," you know. Or as my dad would say,
what it was you were so in character, even your own mother didn't recognize you. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that was a good compliment, and it was a very different character. My voice sounds really different.
But you know, I think you're going to be going to Comic-Con and sci-fi cons in the near future because of Island in the Stars.
Yes,
we want to premiere it at a con. I think that would be amazing.
That would be brilliant. Yeah,
that would be cool.
I think it would be a lot of fun. But
if you do it at San Diego Comic-Con, maybe Netter and I will come out.
I have a soft spot for Comic Cons.
Yeah, she does. She's been involved in those. So yeah, we
I used to be a convention agent once upon a time, and I used to go to a lot of them around the world and take sci-fi actors to them. So that was a lot of fun.
I can't imagine which is more crazy, you know, Hollywood or the convention circuit. Both are kind of yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to answer that one.
But you are one of the few people that could convince me to go out to California. Just saying, Tom.
Yeah.
If you ever come out, we gotta hook up.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. And Troy, what are your final words?
My final words are just thank you so much, Lucinda and Tom, again for coming here, putting up with us, and our technical problems and our less than professional little show here. Super appreciate it. Yes, I do hope that what we lack in professionalism, hopefully we make up for in enthusiasm, and a will to do everything that we can to help make your projects happen.
Absolutely.
And just stick with us. We'll say our goodbyes in the green room as soon as Netter takes us out.
Yep. And I do want to thank our guests for being here. Like I said, you guys are so much fun to have on, and your enthusiasm is so contagious that I just love having you here because my chat just blows up with all these comments about how they love you guys too and all that.
I'm grateful
and
for that.
you got some more people interested in Island in the Stars, which is fantastic. So that Indiegogo link is still pinned to the top of the chat. If you haven't checked it out, please do. And, please make sure that you are sub to our panel members as well as every member of the chat.
Yep.
And we have some new faces in the chat, so make sure you check those out.
Blue Wrenches have been dropping those links, so make sure
they
you're
have been.
using them.
Absolutely.
And with that said,
Yep.
we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat. And you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. Hi, Lucinda.
Yeah.
It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room. We're enjoying each other's company, and we're having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here. And that's so encouraging. And I love seeing you in each of our streams. So I want to thank you for not just being a part of our family, but for the many, many ways that you support all of us. For those who are monetized, and I will be soon, super chats, super stickers, becoming a member, sharing our streams out, dropping comments, doing the thumbs up, all that and so much more, helping me to get to my watch hours. Several of you had been playing my channel 24/7 just to help me get my watch hours, and I cannot thank you enough. So thank you for supporting us in all the many, many ways that you do. Thank you for being our family.
Yeah.
And until next time, I said, stay right here to be redirected to deleted scenes. Good night and